Hey you guys, today I'm going to be showing you how I do my gel nails at home. As you can see, my nails are a hot mess right now because I did as you're not supposed to do and pick them off because I was bored and I picked my nail polish while I'm bored. So, these nails off, you're going to need some pure acetone, some cotton pads, you're going to need a cuticle pusher, and you're also going to need either some nail foil or regular aluminum foil from your kitchen, works just fine. Also, you need a really rough grit nail file. I'm going to be using a 100 grit nail file, and I'm going to start by filing off the top layer, like the top coat of my gel. Now, I have very thick gel on my nails right now. I have a base coat, 3 layers of thick glitter gel, and then 2 layers of top coat on top. So I have quite a lot of gel on my nails, so I'm going to file this down quite thoroughly, not to the point where I touch my natural nail. I try to avoid using anything but the lightest buffing on my natural nail because mine are very thin anyway, so I have to be careful with them. But I do want to get through a good bit of this gel just so that it doesn't take 3 hours to soak off. Okay, now that our nails are all filed, we are going to get all that dust brushed off our hands, and we're going to go ahead and take our cotton pad and some scissors, and I cut the cotton pads into like 5 or 6 pieces. Just chop them up. I'm using super cheap cotton pads. These aren't my favorite to use, but it's what I had available to me at the time. So I'm just chopping these up into pieces that are just slightly larger than my nail. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull out my nail foils. So these are actually pretty large. Depending on the size of your fingers, you can either use them as is or do what I do, and I cut these in half as well, just because it saves product, it saves money, and it works. So I'm just laying these out right now. I, of course, only need 5 per hand, and I always soak off only 1 hand at a time. That way I have another hand available to do things like type on my computer, write a text message, drink something, etc. So now we're going to take our acetone. I like using 100% pure acetone. I buy mine at Sally's. I'm taking that piece of cotton pad, saturating it really well with the acetone. Then I just pop it on top of my nail. I'm so sorry I keep going out of frame here, guys. And I wrap it up with the foil, nice and secure and tight. And then I'm going to repeat that with every single one of my fingers on that same hand. I apologize again for going out of frame so much. I'm not used to filming my hands. I think I've only filmed a video doing my nails like once before, a way long time ago, so I'm not used to having to keep my hands in a specific place in the frame, but hopefully you can kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. Alright, now that all of my nails are nice and wrapped, I'm just going to go ahead and let this sit on my hand for about 20 minutes. You can check it after about 10 minutes, see how it's doing. If it's not done yet, like if the gel isn't lifted, pop them back on and leave them on for the full 20, and then we'll check. Alright, so at this point it's been about 15 minutes. I am taking the foil off, and I am very gently going in with this cuticle pusher and removing the gel. Now on this finger I didn't have much gel left just because I had stupidly picked my nails. But you can see I am taking off the base coat here. So the gel had come off, but the base layer of gel was still on there. So that's what I'm removing from my nail. And it's hard to tell in the video, but I am barely putting any pressure at all on my nail. I'm just gliding the cuticle pusher right over my nail very lightly to remove everything. If you find yourself struggling too much, if you're having to really push to get the gel off, then you're going to want to let your nails soak a lot longer. Also, if you find you get too rough, if you use a metal cuticle tool, you can always just stick with an orange stick because it's much, much gentler. But with enough practice, I find that the metal tool is easier to use. See, that nail wasn't quite ready to fully come off, so I just got off what I could and then popped the foil back on, and I'm moving on to the next nail, and you can see how easily that's just coming right off. You can see some damage on my nails. I will say that damage is not from removing the gel. That damage is from picking the gel off when I was stressed. I shouldn't watch the news right now. That's what was happening. I was watching the news at night and reading Twitter and getting stressed and picking off my gel. If you remove your gel correctly, gel will not damage your nail. It's all in how you remove it. So please, 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 please do not do like I did and don't pick your gel off. This is how to remove it. You can also, there's another method where you can put your hand in a bag of acetone and dip it into water. And yes, that removes gel super duper duper fast, but you have to have a lot of acetone to be able to do that. And it's very hard to find places that will ship pure acetone that doesn't take a couple weeks, and all the Sally's and all the beauty supply stores are closed right now. So it's hard to get actual pure acetone because most of the acetone that's sold at like Target, Walmart has fillers in it. It's not straight pure acetone. So I like using this method because even though, yes, it does take longer, you're not using as much product. And my thumb on this hand, you can see me fighting with it, was so stubborn. I should have filed it down more. My thumbs tend to be, gel just sticks to them better than my other nails, no matter how well I prep. So that nail was pretty stubborn. So I'm putting the foil back on and I'm going to let them sit for a while and then we'll get back at it. All right, they've soaked for about 7 to 8 more minutes, so I'm just going to go ahead and get the rest of this gel off real quick. Ta-da! All the gel is off. Yay, nice clean hands. Now I'm just going to take my clippers, and yes, I'm cutting my nails. They're super long, and I thought about leaving them nice and long, but with having to wash my hands constantly lately, I wanted to be extra careful for sanitary reasons and go ahead and cut my nails nice and short. And I decided to go with more of a square shape this time. Like, my nails naturally grow very oval shaped, but I thought squares would be cute for a change, so that is what I'm doing right now. So I'll go through and just cut every nail down with my clippers first, and then we will go in with the file, and I am just filing them straight across and then just slightly rounding the corners just so I don't accidentally, you know, cut myself with my own nails, because that would be bad. Now that our nails are the exact shape that I want them, I'm going to go in with my cuticle pusher again, and this time, make sure I wipe that excess dust off so you can see what you're doing. And this time I'm going in and just gently pushing back my cuticles and lifting up any dead skin from the nail plate to make sure that my nails will adhere, the gel will adhere to my nails. You want a nice clean nail bed so that you don't have to worry about your nail lifting. And of course you can see the top of my head in this video because I'm that much of a professional. So I'm just going in and carefully pushing back every single cuticle. Now I'm going in with the pointier edge of my cuticle tool and just running it along the nail bed to remove any of that excess dry skin that we loosened up and just remove it from the nail. Nail prep probably takes up at least half, if not more, of my nail time because I'm very, very particular with my nail prep, and it's why I can do gel nails that will last a full 2 weeks, sometimes 3 or 4, depending on how fast my nails are growing. Now I am taking a pair of cuticle nippers right here to remove any dead or lifted bits of skin. If you are not experienced with using cuticle nippers, don't do this. You can cut yourself, you can cause infections, and you don't want to ever cut the living tissue. You only want to cut the dead bits that poke up. Now, after I cut off the dead bits of each nail, of the skin, and little pokey up bits, I am taking a pink buffer. This is a very, very, very gentle buffer. I am buffing around the cuticle to remove any excess skin that didn't come up. And then I am gently buffing the whole nail just enough to remove the shine from the nail. This will help create a better bond between the gel and your nail, and it just creates a smoother surface. Do not use a rough tool for this, please. Alright, I went ahead and washed my hands. You can see that my nails, once it focuses, are all nice and clean and prepped. We do have to do one more thing though to make sure they are ready to apply the gel. I like using 91% rubbing alcohol for this. This is isopropyl alcohol, and I will put this on a paper towel and wipe my nails down, and this removes any residual oils. You can also use pure acetone for this. This is pretty much the exact same thing as a nail dehydrator, so if you don't have a dehydrator, you can either use pure acetone with no fillers in it, or 70 or 91% rubbing alcohol. And I've been using rubbing alcohol for years under all my regular manicures and my gel manicures, and it works amazing at making the polish stay forever, basically. Today I'm using a Model 1's gel kit that I got off Amazon. I have a base coat right here. Then my color is actually in a pot, which I absolutely love. I'm using a really pretty pale lavender. I love these potted gel colors. They're a bit harder to work with than traditional gel, but they're really pigmented and they come in some really pretty colors as well. And of course, I also have a top coat. This one is a no wipe top coat, which I absolutely love. I also have a nice little brush that came with the kit to paint on the potted gel polish, and I have a very small 6-watt lamp. This is not the best lamp ever. It's pretty weak, so you have to cure your nails for a little bit longer than you would with a full-size lamp, but it is a USB plug-in, which can come in really handy. I actually was running it off of the power from my laptop today. I'm going to start by opening up my base coat, and I'm just applying the base coat to my 4 fingers first, a very, very thin layer, making sure to stay away from the cuticle. I like doing my 4 fingers first, curing them, and then doing my thumb. That way I don't risk bumping anything or anything sliding around out of place. If your nails are prone to chipping at the ends, make sure you go ahead and cap the edges of your nails with the brush. My nails pretty much never chip at the ends when I wear gel polish, when I prep them correctly, so I really don't bother capping the ends of my nails. But right now I'm just going ahead and putting those under the light. I cure these for a minute under the light. You really only need about 45 seconds for a base coat if you're using a full-size lamp, but since this is a mini, I give each layer of my gel a full minute, and then when I do the final top coat, I add an extra minute in there just to make sure everything is nice and cured all the way through. After your base coat in each layer of gel, your nails will be sticky. This is very, very normal. Don't wipe off that layer, don't touch your nail, etc. The whole point of this sticky is to help each layer of successive gel stick in place. The only layer that won't be sticky is your top coat, and that's only if you're using a no wipe top coat. All right, I'm just going to show you guys doing my 4 fingers just to make this easy, and so this video isn't an hour long. I'm taking my lavender gel pot right now and dipping my brush into it. As you can see, it's very thick, a little sticky, so it is harder to work with. If you've never done any sort of gel or acrylic, or you're not super great at painting your nails, I would suggest sticking with a standard bottle-based gel polish if you're doing your nails for the first time. But if you have a bit of experience, or you've done like acrylic painting before and you're pretty good at painting your nails, then I would say go ahead and use the gel paint. Make sure that you are doing very, very, very thin layers. Typically with solid colors like this, I only need to do 2 layers of the polish. Occasionally you'll need to do 3 if you're using a super, super pastel shade, or if you're doing like a glitter, you might need to do 3, but in most cases with this particular brand, I only need to do 2 layers. Do 1 layer. Then you'll cure it for a minute, do your second layer, and cure that for a minute as well. Now go ahead and add on a layer of your top coat and go ahead and cure it for a minute. I'm only doing 1 layer of top coat just because I don't have like any glitter to smooth out. If I use glitters, then I will go ahead and do 2 layers of top coat. All right, now that you've cured it for a minute, go ahead and cure it for 1 more minute if you're using a weaker lamp like I have, just to make sure that the polish is cured all the way through. If you're using a top coat that has to be wiped, go ahead and wipe it down with some alcohol on a cotton pad. If you're using a no wipe top coat like I am, then you should be good. I usually like taking a microfiber cloth and just checking my nails to make sure they're all nice and set. If they are fully cured, then they should make a nice satisfying squeaky sound when you rub them up against a cloth or a piece of fabric. Alright you guys, and here are my nails all done. This is a very, very simple look. I wanted to keep things very basic today, but I hope that you found this tutorial somewhat helpful. You can get all kinds of gel polish kits on Amazon, and they're all pretty decent. So go ahead, and if you haven't tried it yet, try doing your own gel nails at home. I hope that they go well for you. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos a couple times a week. And you can also keep up with me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All the links for those are down below. And yes, I did get some gel on my fingers. Don't worry, that washes off after a couple hours. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye!